everybody. Welcome to your daily vocal warm-up, which I'm gonna try and do as much as possible. If you're watching this now, then hello. I hope you're surviving, doing well. If you're watching this later, nice to see you as well. These videos, you can find them on here, or I'm going to upload them onto YouTube so you can do them at your convenience. So I wanted to do this because I suddenly find myself with some time on my hands, having to cancel some of my group classes, and also I think that I'm really feeling the loss of our community, meeting the choir 4 times a week. So I just want to check in, check how everyone's doing, answer some questions on singing, and just give you a kind of thorough vocal warm-up to help set everyone up for the day. So I made some notes this time because these things are really scary. The first time I did it, it was one of the most terrifying things I've ever done. This time I'm not sweating quite as much, but it's still really scary because I feel like it's a combination of talking to myself in a kind of mad way in our spare room, and also not knowing who's watching. So it's a weird feeling doing these things, but I'm gonna keep going. So bear with me if I get a bit flustered. Right, should we do this? So hi everybody. So what I'm going to do is I have made some notes on this one, and the reason for that is because I have a strong belief that we should approach our singing practice in the same way that we would approach another physical activity, which means that we do need to have some consistency and some repetition and some focus in our practice. So for that reason, instead of me going off map each day and giving you different exercises, I'm going to try and follow a structure. For those who know my work, these are going to be really familiar exercises, but that's okay because everyone has infinite depths to them, if that makes sense. It might seem a bit extreme to say something like a lip trill has infinite depths to it, but there really are so many ways that you can approach each of these exercises, starting off just from a listening, from a pitch perspective, from a support perspective, from a jaw perspective, tongue, resonance. You can do any of these and approach them for a different purpose. And then when you've got that purpose down, you can try and coordinate maybe 2. Try and think of your jaw and the resonance, or your breath and your jaw and your resonance. If you can multitask, which I can't do. So we're going to start off, and we're just going to start off with bringing yourself into your body, so that you have more awareness of what is going on. So we're going to start off closing your eyes, taking a deep breath in. This is more for me, just to calm myself down for doing one of these scary live things. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Feet hips width apart. Give your toes a little wiggle. You can scan from your big toes to your little toes. And just bring your awareness to your ankles and up to your knees, which you're going to give a little wiggle, keep them loose, all the way up your thighs to your hips, give them a wiggle as well. And that's how the loose knees and the heavy bum that the wonderful Dane Chow Phim recommends. And you're going to move up to your shoulders and just give them 4 slow circles back. Breathing in and out as you do so. And 4 slow circles forward. Now, as someone who is unable to multitask, I have to keep my eyes shut for these things, or I can't feel my body. Some people are more capable than me, so don't feel the need to shut your eyes if you don't want to. Let's just take your arm across. And take your arm across the other way. And let your head drop to one side and your shoulder drop away. And take your head to the center. And while we're here, let's just imagine that we have that invisible string lifting you up. Now, the purpose of it in a singing context is I don't want you crunching onto your instrument. Imagine that your larynx is like a bell that wants to ring freely. We don't want to compress it or interfere with those vibrations. So that little lift, and then we let it just fall to the other side. And back up again. And let it fall backwards. Feel the stretch underneath your chin. And drop your jaw. And lift your jaw. And just give that, all those muscles, a nice stretch. All right, take your head back up to center, and again, have that little string here. Let's add another string from your sternum. So we're keeping those ribs, that rib cage lifted. Now the ribs, this is really important because the rib cage covers a massive percentage of your lungs. So even if it's collapsing just, you know, a quarter of a centimeter, that in kind of in cubic amounts, I'm not sure if that's the right term, imagine a quarter of a centimeter's compression all the way around your lungs is going to create a blast of air, which is going to make your vocal cords struggle against that pressure, and it causes them to lock or burst open, neither of which we want to happen. So that nice lift from your rib cage. All right, take another 10-20 seconds or so with that lifted rib cage just to follow your own breathing. Just to take your attention inwards and to scan through your body for any areas of tension. It might be your tongue root, which is underneath your chin. Let your tip of your tongue be behind your front teeth. It might be your jaw hinge and all the muscles that come from your jaw hinge and then connect around your larynx, potentially hindering those vibrations. You might want to take your attention to your lower stomach and just allow it to release on the in-breath. Or you might want to go back to the areas we've already looked at, your loose knees or the lifted rib cage, and just remind yourself. All right, let's do some singing. Let's start off with some lip trills. So, whilst keeping your face relaxed, allow your lips to trill or reverberate. I'm reading my own notes here. I'm not going to describe these exercises technically, because if I go to that place, you'll have me here for hours and hours. So this is why I've given you a downloadable link. So I'm just going to take you through the warm-up. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then... Everyone ready? 1, 2. 1, 2. Push space between the wisdom teeth. 1, 2. Tongue nice and heavy on the base of your mouth. Tongue tip behind your bottom teeth. 1, 2. Keep the air flowing like a sigh. 1, 2. Now we're going down again. 1, 2. Keep your shoulders and your neck nice and loose. 2. 1, 2. And you're going further down. I'm still closing my eyes. 1, 2. Now just keep going down for those who can. In fact, we're going to do another couple just to let everything release. And if you can, down to bottom D. Alright, so I don't want to go up too high yet, because if you were starting to dance, you wouldn't start off with a high kick and the splits. You're just going to get all the muscles moving. So this is why we just want to start everything starting to move, starting to vibrate. Alright, good. It feels nice going down, actually. It felt really nice being very low, as it feels quite early. So let's start nice and low for this one. Puffy cheeks. Blow out your cheeks, fat face, and feel them fill with air. Bring your chords together and add sound. Again, I want to talk about why this is really, really, really brilliant exercise, but we won't. We're just going to power through. So, puffy cheeks. You are sliding up. You're going. Again, we're going to start super low, and we're going to go from 1, 2. Okay, so you're sliding all the way up, you're letting those vocal cords lengthen like stretching out an elastic band, and you're feeling that sensation of all the resonance inside your vocal tract. So I did this one yesterday actually, holding your nose, because occasionally when you shut your mouth it can go in there, and if you hold your nose it doesn't work, so you have to find another way of sending the sound waves up, so you get rather than. So if you want to test that you're not sending it into your nose, just do that. All right, 1, 2. 1, 2. And you can imagine that the stream of air is coming forward like a, increasing with speed instead of stretching up. 1, 2. Or maybe even sighing out. So thinking of singing being a release, because you don't want to reach up for those notes, you want to let them sigh out. I'm going to go down again. And drop back down into this place. Feel it drop back down into that place, the vibrations down your sternum. Enjoy the bass. And back down again. Good. Right, we're going to move on to continuing the theme of sighing as singing by breathing out before we sing. Again, I want to talk about why and how and all the little fun things that happen with this, but we're just going to power through, breathing in for 2, out for 2, and then sing. So you are going to do this. Breathe in and out and that's better timing. In, breathing in, so this is an aspirate onset, I guess. We're also releasing the jaw. Breathing in. I can't talk and do this one. Breathing in for 2 and out for 2, and then just start to sing from there. Good. Good. So let's move on. We've got everything kind of sighed and released. We've had lots of SOVT work going on, which is, there's a bit more of that on the worksheet. Let's start to check in the notes here. Let's start to do our wee-wees. So wee. Now, this we're going to be doing wee, but that could cause, we could do this quite badly if we're not careful. We could end up with lots of jaw tension. Wee, 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 wee. Tongue tension. Wee, 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 wee. All sorts of things. We could get nasal. Wee, 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 wee. And we don't want to do any of that. So we're going to kind of do a few things to help you avoid those things. So you're going to hurt your finger to hit your teeth. All right? And you're going to hold your nose. All right? And this holding your nose means that if you were previously going to sing like this, wee, 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 that sound would stop. So you're going to have to make some adjustments to sing in a different way. Wee, 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 wee. You can hear the difference. And the nose doesn't, holding your nose doesn't make any difference now. Doesn't matter where you are. Wee, 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 wee. Whereas if you had been singing nasally, I said I wasn't going to talk about this stuff, did I? Because but I just want to explain this one. Then as you went wee, 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 you would hear there was a sound stop. So hold your nose. This one is to stop your jaw locking. All right, this jaw hinge here cannot lock anymore because you've got your finger in your mouth. So I can't play the piano with my finger in my mouth holding my nose. 1, 2. Wee, 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 wee. Wee, 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 wee. Wee, 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 wee. Wee, 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 wee. So avoid any nasal sounds. Wee, 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 wee. Wee, 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 wee. And I'm kind of jumping to keep you in time, but wee, 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 wee. Also because it kind of keeps everything loose. Wee, 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 wee. Wee, 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 wee. Wee, 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 wee. Don't be afraid to sound quite twangy on this one. Wee, 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 wee. Should we go up higher? Ooh. Wee, 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 wee. In fact, let's do the last ones because they are sounding very twangy to my I'm kind of hurting my own ears. So let's add an ooh before your wee. So that instead of singing wah, we're going to sing wah, which is going to create a bit more larynx tilt and round the vocal tract and hopefully warm it up a bit. So when you get to ooh, wee, 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 add a little ooh in. 1, 2. Wee, 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 wee. Wee, 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 wee. Let's go down again. 2. Wee, 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 wee. Play around with that. Ooh. Wee, 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 wee. 1, 2. Wee, 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 wee. And 1, 2. Wee, 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 wee. And last one. Wee, 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 wee. Good. All right, where are we going next? Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. So to counteract that one previously for me was more about bringing awareness to not using your jaw hinge and also starting to have an awareness of that upper resonance. So that kind of ring you get here, that treble. But the trouble is, once we've added the treble, it's all we have to be very aware of now adding the bass. So think of your own body almost like a recording studio EQ. We've just turned the treble up on full, which is going to add us some carry, and it's going to lengthen the vocal cords and make it a safe way of singing high, but we need to add that bass back in or else it's going to start to hurt our ears. So we're going to add in all the bass now. Don't worry about your treble. We're going to get the larynx super low, jaw low, everything really relaxed, your vocal tract really curved and lengthened. And we're going to go for our Papa Bear woes. So you're going to go for your, it's going to 1, 2, whoa, 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 whoa. All about that bass. 1, 2, whoa, 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 whoa. 1, 2, whoa, 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 whoa. And yawny, sobby sound. whoa, 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 whoa. The sob will engage your breath support. Whoa, 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 whoa. 1, 2, whoa, 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 whoa. Sobby yawny. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sobby yawny, Papa Bear. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Great, good. Moving on to our nga. According to my note sheet, with a drop jaw, we are isolating the tongue. Nga, nga, nga. So the reason I'm doing this one is because we all do a lot of this. Nga, nga, nga. And if you do that, there are some muscles here. Come down here. They wrap around your larynx like a cobra. And as your jaw gets tight, your larynx, poor thing, is getting pulled up and down. Nga, nga, or strangled. Nga, nga. So we just want to get the tongue off it instead. Nga, 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 nga. It's also like imagining previously you had a beanbag sat on your instrument, squishing it. You're lifting it off and allowing then the larynx to be nice and free. So let's go. Let's go. And you want to watch yourself on your own screen here if you can, and go, I need this space the whole time. Kind of bored, drop jaw, bit pouty. Nga, 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 hit the tongue. And finally, let's just throw out some haze, because we've been doing things quite technically, but most of your vocal system is it's basically connected to your emotions and your nervous system, your autonomic nervous system. It's involuntary. It comes from your guts and your emotions and your state of being. So we just need to have a little bit of a primal call out to finish this, which is going to be your hey. We're just going to go with a gaspy in breath, and then you're going to call out. So where I am now, at home in Wiltshire, confined to the countryside, I can see a field with some dogs and a hill. I'm going to call out, and you're going to call out with this hey, and you can use your intention, whatever one you want. It can just be like a hey, I like a hi, or it can be a hey, don't do that. I think we should go for the high stakes here. I think we should go for the whoa, no, you're about to jump in front of the bar, you're about to fall off something. Let's go for, let's save a life here. So because that is gonna, no one's voice is gonna crack when they try to save someone's life. Like, your body knows best. It knows how to make your voice work when it needs it. So 1, 2, 3 hey, 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 hey. And the only technical thing you've got to watch here is that you're not using your jaw and you're not going hey, 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 hey. Okay, it's from here. It's emotion on a 10, not necessarily volume. All right, let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3 hey, 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 hey. 1, 2, 3 hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. 1, 2, 3 hey, 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 hey. 1, 2, 3 go. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Last one. Hey, 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 hey. Good. All right. Thank you. I hope you feel a little bit more ready to start the day, a bit more in your body, a bit more connected, and a bit less alone. Let's do this as much as possible. I will try and do this every day. I have 4 children who are now at home because one of them has a cough. But let's try this because it's important. I think it's important for us all. So I'll upload this onto my YouTube channel as well. So on the YouTube channel there are lots of other coaching videos, not lots, but there are a few more, so do check them out. And I'll see you tomorrow.